What up, everybody? It's your boy Hally back again, GBG Podcast, Detroit representative to the day that I die, east side in the building and all that good stuff. I hope you blessed. I hope this message finds you blessed. Y'all know what it is. It's GVG. It's God versus gods, the true God versus the people and things and deities that we choose to worship and put in front of him. Y'all know we drop episodes every Thursday. I get my points off the phone in a notebook and then I go off the fly. Y'all ready? It's already done. So one of the things that I want to say about this journey that I'm on and that you're on, you know, we're all on this journey. For me, I really, I started out coming from poverty, and I've seen a lot of things in this life. I've seen a lot of ups and downs, had a lot of bad days. And the one thing I always felt was I wanted to bring more joy to this world than pain. I wanted to right a lot of the wrongs in my life. And I always wanted to be a helping hand for my fellow man. So I think a lot of things that we do in this life, it kind of comes full circle. And for me, this podcast and my music and a lot of other things that I do, I'm seeing that it's to help people. I believe that my main purpose in this life is to help others, is to help people. Not only do I believe, it's something that I want to do, something that I love doing. I love helping people when it comes to just, financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever I can do to help people, I'm trying to be there for them. But I also understand that I don't want to be a welfare system or put people in a welfare mentality. What that means is you can give somebody $20 all day, but they're going to need some tools to not have to ask you for that $20 next week. They're going to need to learn some things and get shown some things, because if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat forever. But if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. So I think that is the thin line between, help and welfare, where you want to give people tools in today's time. So for me, I love what I do. I love to create, and I love to help people. And I love to help people with their lives. A story time. A job I used to work at a while back, there was a guy named Will. He was probably like 7 years older than me. And we were working together for a minute, and he was always dealing with baby mama drama all the time, to where he hadn't seen his kids in a long time. And to where, his baby mama actually was trying to physically harm him and stab him and do different things to him. And, we just were talking every day. And every day I would just continue to talk to him and give him ways to fight the battle spiritually instead of physically. So it went from this woman hating his guts and not letting him see his kids and trying to physically harm him till, a few weeks, maybe a month or two go by, and, we're working on it. And then eventually he comes in that one day and he says, she let me see my kids. And we both just, gave each other a five and hugged, and he just looked at me and he was like, "You big bro." And I kind of laughed. I'm like, "Nah, you older than me, so you big bro." He was like, "Nah, you don't understand. You big bro." And that was a pivotal moment for him and for me, because he was able to rekindle and pick up some of the pieces in his life. And it also showed me that I could be a help to people, that what I was teaching him and telling him and showing him actually helped his actual life. The tools that I gave him helped his life. And for me, it was a pivotal moment. It was GVG before GVG, if that makes sense to anybody. But also in this journey, I've always wanted to help people with the truth. That's one of the main things about GVG is we want to help people with truth. And there's so many lies that are eventually uncovered in this life. And there's so much bondage that we have to swim our way through to actually get to that promised land that we're looking for. And a lot of us don't make it. But my goal has always been to help people with their lives and to give people truth. Now, we live in a time where, of course, ain't nothing new under the sun, but we live in a time where people say that it's my truth, it's your truth, this, that, and the other. But there are absolute truths. And there are a lot of things that are being uncovered in our time. And as I'm on this journey, I'm trying to take people with me. I don't want to be the only one learning the things that I learn. And I'm not doing it in a form of I need people to be with me. It's just more of when you have the knowledge that other people don't have, you can either keep them in bondage or you can set them free. And for me, I want to set people free from all of this religion and this occultism and, all of the Republican Democrat stuff, the Pharaoh system that we live in, relationships. There's so many things that I want to help people to be set free in truth and in love. And that's a funny thing is, relationships are not easy. And just because you find a good person or someone you believe is heaven sent or the right person, it doesn't mean that you may not grow apart. It doesn't mean that you may stop fighting. It doesn't mean that you might give up or stop the fight for that relationship. It doesn't mean that mountains will continue to move for you to be with that person. But in today's time, there are a lot of ridiculous reasons why people aren't together. And a lot of it has to do with the propaganda, the social media, all the different things that people are hearing, from rich people or people who's been, everybody has individual experiences. And I think sometimes we believe that someone else's experience is our own when you're an individual. You may not be rich. You may not be poor. You may be overweight. You may be underweight. You may have 3 jobs. You may have all the time in the world. You may be a gamer. You may be a creative. We're all different. And it's really hard to apply the same concept to every individual, especially when it comes to relationships, because everyone has deal breakers and boundaries and different things that they will walk away from. But a lot of us are making impossible standards. Some of us are making rash decisions, and it's okay. It's life. But I try to help people and talk to people when it comes to their relationships, because sometimes it just don't make sense. And sometimes people will lose a good thing and out here chasing and trying to find something else. And sometimes you just got that good thing already. But really, I just try to bring a more logical sense to what relationships are and how people grow and how you should be towards your mate, how you should be able to, like I always say, you should be able to reset. You and your mate, you probably work 5-6 days a week. I want to be able to be the one that resets you for that week, give you your strength, give you your patience back, give you your love, give you all the things that you need to reset back in the world so you can handle it, because this world can be overwhelming at times. So, there are a bunch of tools that I try to give people for their relationships. And another thing I see is there are a lot of people who try to give you solutions to your problems. There's a lot of people who tell you, oh, you should do this, do that, but they're not actually giving you tools to better your life or better your situation or give you forward progress. You kind of stay where you are, or it actually gets worse. So for me, I try not to just give people advice or tell them this or that. I try to give them actual tools that will help them be self-sufficient in their decision making, in their life, in their walk, whatever it is, because most of the time people will tell you this and tell you that, but they won't give you the tools. They'll tell you to dig yourself out of a hole, but they won't tell you how to do it. They'll tell you to, be the best man you could be, but they won't give you the tools and avenues to reach that goal. So I try to be different in that matter of not being a welfare system or a totalitarian or a dictator or any of those things, or religious cultism who's trying to give you bondage. I'm trying to actually give you tools to set you free and let you be self-sufficient in the world. So one of the things I'm learning is I'm trying to help people heal. And that's not always easy, because a lot of people don't know how to be healed. They don't want to take the correct avenues to be healed. And sometimes they lash out on the person who is trying to heal them. So it's like a wounded animal, or let's say a person who has a cut. The initial shock of the alcohol, you get a piece of gauze and you put some alcohol on it and you put it on that wound. The initial shock is you want to get away from it. So a lot of people are dealing with the initial shock from a wounded animal. Their reaction, the way they do things, the way they, perceive things, the way they act is from a wounded animal state. And you're the person that's trying to be the alcohol. You're trying to be the remedy. You're trying to be the healer. And a lot of times when you are the person that's trying to heal people, you may get wounded in the process. But I understand that element of this life, and I still will continue to try and heal people. But I know that it's a gift and a curse, that there's going to be some things that comes with it, because you're dealing with people who don't have the tools or who don't understand what healing even is to begin with. Some people don't want to heal. Some people want to stay in a victimized state. And as a person, you have to use your discernment to realize, is this person, do they just want to be victimized, or do they actually want to be healed? And once I realize this person wants to be healed, then okay, it's worth it. Which I would say that would be the next part of discernment. Is it worth it? Is it worth it for me to go through the healing process with this person? So for me, I really do ask myself the question of, can I be a help to the people? Am I good enough? Am I strong enough? Do I have enough will? Do I have enough tools? Is my heart in the right place? Am I doing the things that I need to do to get towards the goals to be able to help people? Is my mind right? Am I in the right mindset to be able to have the spiritual strength to help another? Because it's hard to give someone what you don't have. But for me, my power source isn't through me. My power source is through the creator of all of this. We all have names for this and for that, but one thing I know that you can't debate is someone created all of this. And that's who I get my strength and my power from, the ultimate creator of all. And the Heavenly Father has given me a link to his power. And his power isn't like ours. It doesn't run out. Sure, these bodies get weak. We get agitated. We go through things, but that power source is unlimited. One of the biggest reasons that I will continue to be who I am and how I am and for the people is because I have an unlimited power source. Doesn't mean that I don't get tired or I don't get agitated or I don't have my weak times or I don't have my times where I don't want to do it. But when those opportunities present themselves, it just happens. I want to help the people. I'm for the people. I'm not one of those fake politicians or one of these presidential candidates or one of these people that's trying to gain something from you other than you being free, you being self-sufficient, you learning how to help yourself, you learning how to fish instead of me giving you a fish. That's all. You learning how to fish instead of me giving you a fish. That's all. I want to help people. I want to help them grow. I want to help people grow to get to a status of better tomorrow than I was today and better today than I was yesterday. It's tough for us to grow in this time because everything is impulsive. Everything that we deal with is based on impulse. So we have a lot of situations where we don't want to grow. We just want to do what the impulse tells us. And we make a lot of knee-jerk reactions and a lot of rash decisions based on the impulsiveness, but not realizing that sometimes you need the adversity, you need those tough things, you need certain things for you to be able to grow. And a lot of immaturity, the immaturity inside of us will stop us from growing. A mature person learns. I'm going to go through these things. I'm going to go through some things, but in turn, it's going to help me grow. It's going to give me thicker skin. It's going to give me a more patient spirit. I'm going to be more slow to anger. I'm going to learn how to deal with situations. It's actually doing something for me, putting me in the fire. But a lot of us run from the fire because we're impulsive. And once you live your life based on impulse and just every feeling you have and every situation is this and that, you're letting circumstances run you. And that's okay because we're human beings. But me, I'm in a place where I'm just trying to help people grow to understand that impulses are a part of being human. But you have a sophistication to yourself where you can grow through adversity, where you don't have to be impulsive for everything that happens. If you throw an egg on the floor, a dog is going to eat it impulsively. But a person has sophistication to say, nah, I can't eat that. It's dirty. If I'm going to eat an egg, I'm going to cook it and put some seasoning on it and put it on a plate and eat it with a fork. That's sophistication. So a lot of us are running from that because we have impulsiveness. In today's time, social media has created a world full of zombie, impulsive people. And it's hard for us to get away from that ADHD-driven world. And in helping people grow, I want to help people spiritually. I want to help people in their spirit. Because it's one thing to help someone financially. It's one thing to help someone in whatever area you want to say, but spiritually, the spiritual growth that people have is more dire than anything. And I want to help people in their spirits. So this episode is just me trying to give you an insight to why I do a lot of the things that I do. with this podcast and outside of it, as far as helping people when it comes to a job, if I'm at my job, if I'm at Walmart, if I'm at home, online, whatever it is, I'm always trying to get people to a better state than they were. So I want to help people with their lives, with truth, with their relationships. I want to help them heal. I want to help them grow in every aspect. And I want to give them the tools to be able to do it. This is me, people. Today was just about me telling you how I want to help the people. It's GVG. Y'all know we drop episodes every Thursday. And until next time, we'll see you.